Hello and welcome back to the Fantasy Playmakers. Today, I'm going to be going over some of my breakout players for the 2021 season. So I'm going to give you guys one of these players at each position and let you know why I really think they're going to break out and have huge years this year. So these are guys that I think are currently undervalued at their ADP, and if I was doing drafts today, these are the guys that I would be targeting. So my quarterback that I think is going to have a big breakout this year is Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is currently being selected as the number 11 quarterback according to the Fantasy Pros consensus rankings, and I think that's basically where his floor is. But if I think you can get him at this number 11 spot, Hurts is a quarterback who has legit top 5, top 3 quarterback upside this year. In the 3 full games that Hurts started last year, he scored 19.3 points, 37.8 points, and 18.6. And what really stuck out in those games was Jalen Hurts' rushing ability. In those 3 games, he carried the ball 38 times for 238 yards. On a per game basis, that's more carries and rush yards per game than Lamar Jackson averaged last year. The Eagles, they went out, they traded Carson Wentz, and they're really committing to Hurts. I was a little concerned with them having the 6th pick that they could be in quarterback range, but they traded that 6th pick to the Miami Dolphins, traded back to number 12, and that is the perfect spot for Jalen Hurts because now they're going to be in range to get one of those top weapons, maybe a Devontae Smith, a Jalen Waddle, and that's only going to help Hurts this year. So Hurts is definitely a player to look out for if he stays this low in the rankings. For my running back, I have Melvin Gordon from the Broncos. Melvin Gordon is currently being selected as the running back 23, and I think people have really forgotten how good Melvin Gordon truly is. In half PPR scoring, in 2016, he averaged 16.1 points per game. In 2017, 14.4, 2018, 18.8, and in 2019, 11.6. And so he took a little bit of a dip this year, averaging 11.1, but he does have a pretty solid floor. He's rushed for at least 8 touchdowns in the last 5 years. And also, the Broncos let Phillip Lindsay walk. He just signed with the Texans, and Lindsay took away 118 carries and 500 yards last year. Yes, some of that's going to go to the new backup, but that is a pretty big workload for a backup, so I expect Gordon to cut into that a little bit. The real problem here for Gordon is Drew Lock. Drew Lock has something against throwing to running backs. Melvin Gordon and Phillip Lindsay, in fact, were terrific receiving backs, but just did not get the work that they needed. Melvin Gordon had 40-plus receptions from 2016 to 2019, but failed to reach that last year. And that's really where you can get upside with these running backs, especially in half-point PPR and full PPR. When they're able to get those receptions, receiving touchdowns, that's a big deal. So I'm really going to be watching the Broncos closely this offseason. If they're able to bring in a new quarterback, maybe a veteran in free agency, or maybe they trade up in the draft and get one of those top rookie quarterbacks, then I'm really going to be all in on Melvin Gordon this year, and I think he could have a big breakout. My breakout wide receiver this year is going to be Amari Cooper from the Cowboys. He is currently going as the number 20 wide receiver, and I think that's incredibly low. Last year, before getting injured, Dak Prescott played 4 full games. In those 4 games, Amari Cooper absolutely went off. He was averaging 16.65 half-point PPR points per game. That's crazy impressive. If he kept that up for the whole season, he would have been the wide receiver 4. So I think Cooper has so much potential at this slot, and if you're able to get him as your wide receiver 2 or even wide receiver 3, that is crazy. Dak signed an extension this offseason with the Cowboys, so he will be coming back. He's going to be their quarterback. And if we're being honest, this Cowboys defense is still pretty rough, so the offense is going to get a ton of opportunities. Last year, the Cowboys passed the ball 42.7 times per game. That was number 1 in the NFL. So Cooper is going to have every opportunity to show out, and I really think this offense is going to be explosive. Another guy I like is CeeDee Lamb this year. CeeDee Lamb's going as the wide receiver 21, so right behind Cooper, but Cooper is the alpha there, and I expect him to deliver as a potential number 1 wide receiver. At tight end, I have Zach Ertz, and he has basically fallen off a cliff, or at least it seems like that. He is not even in top 20 rankings for some people. He's currently being picked as the number 19 tight end, but I think we have just forgotten how good Zach Ertz truly is. In 2016, half-point PPR scoring, 10.3 points. 2017, 11.8. 2018, 13.9, and 2019, 11.4. He really fell off this year. A lot of it was due to injuries. He was having contract disputes. But let's keep in mind, the tight end position is absolutely brutal in fantasy football. I mean, if you don't get one of those top guys, you're basically just scavenging on the waiver wire, trying to get a guy who's maybe going to score a touchdown and put up like 8 or 9 points per game. So last year, the number 22 tight end through the number 12 tight end averaged between 7 and 8 points per game. So I would much rather take a shot on Zach Ertz late in the draft because he's really only one of like 5 or 6 guys who truly has high upside at the tight end position. Instead of going after like those second-year tight ends or guys who have been in the league for a while and have never put it together, I would much rather bank on Zach Ertz getting put in a good situation, maybe the Colts, something like that, and performing in the way he has in the past. So if I was drafting today, some of the guys I'd be looking out for, Jalen Hurts, Melvin Gordon, Amari Cooper, and Zach Ertz. This could change over the offseason. If it does, I'll make sure to update you guys. But as of right now, if I'm drafting, these are the guys I'm going to be targeting. These guys all have the potential to finish top 12 at their positions. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching. If you guys enjoyed the video, leaving a like and subscribing would be huge for the channel. Let me know in the comments, do you agree with these breakout guys? Do you think there are some other breakout guys that could be out there? Let me know. I'd like to hear what you guys have to say. So thank you so much for watching. See you guys next time.